The final practice session before the India versus England test match in Vizag had a very keen interest for two players. Remember, the likes of Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Dhruv Jurel, Rajat Patidar and Sarfaraz Khan all had a long hit in the practice session today. Rohit Sharma did not practice today, and because of that, it was an optional practice session kind of a thing. But remember, the build up to the entire test match, India versus England in Vizag, was dominated by these two individuals, Rajat Patidar and Sarfaraz Khan. This came about after KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja were ruled out of the second test because of injuries. Ravindra Jadeja, as you know, is in the NCA and recovering. KL Rahul also has been left out because he too suffered a thigh injury at that point. But now, Sarfaraz Khan or Rajat Patidar? That is the major question. Because remember, one of them will be making their debuts. Will two of them play in the same 11? That seems to be a bit problematic at this point of time. Because before I come to whether Rajat Patidar will be picked or Sarfaraz Khan will be picked, look at the playing 11 that you may have to do in this test match. Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal is fine. Shreyas Iyer will have to play. Shubman Gill will also have to play, which means Rajat Patidar / Sarfaraz at number 5. Then you've got 6 KS Bharat, 7 you've got Washington Sundar, R Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav potentially, and you've got Mohammad Siraj / Jasprit Bumrah. Jasprit Bumrah will definitely play. Will India go in with one pacer or they'll go in with two pacers? Because if they're going with two pacers, then Sundar goes out. Akshar then will have to play in that sense. So fitting in a Sarfaraz and a Rajat Patidar will mean no Washington Sundar or not even Akshar Patel for that matter. How are you going to do it then? It is because of all these kind of permutations and combinations. Because let's not debate upon the fact that Shubman Gill, he should be dropped. No, he is getting one more test. After that, if he fails, 9-day gap for the third test, a call will be taken at that point in time. But either of Rajat Patidar or Sarfaraz Khan is making their debut in the match at Vizag. Now, who might get it? I'll just present the numbers to you before I make my verdict upon who should be picked. Patidar versus Sarfaraz for debut. However, Patidar, you may have to understand, he made his debut in the South Africa series and he was picked as one of the members after Virat Kohli he made himself unavailable because of personal reasons in the first two tests. So Patidar has been in the scheme of things far longer. Sarfaraz, why do you think there has been a big clamour for Sarfaraz Khan to come in? Because in the domestic setup, he has been performing next level when it comes to consistency for 4 years. One of the commentators had stated he has not knocked on the selection door, he's banged the doors down. No KL Rahul for Vizag test. It is because of no KL Rahul and even Ravindra Jadeja to a certain extent that these two players are in contention. Now, what are the numbers for Rajat Patidar? 4,000 runs in 55 first class games at an average of 45.97. 12 hundreds in first class cricket. But remember, prior to him getting into the squad for the two tests, he had hit 151 of 228 balls for India A against the England Lions in Ahmedabad. So, Patidar, if you have to look at it, there is a certain section who rightfully believe in his talent. In the IPL also, he was in decent touch in 2022. Then if you have to look at it, 4,000 runs in first class cricket. I am not looking at IPL numbers, I am not looking at T20 list A numbers. These are just first class. 45.97. Patidar has been in the scheme of things longer. Remember this one point. Because Sarfaraz's numbers are next level. You look at Sarfaraz, 3,945 runs in 45 matches. But look at the average. 69.85. In certain seasons, his average was 80. At one point in time, his first class average in the Ranji Trophy was over 80. Not many people are on that elite list. And he has 1400s, including a triple century. Patidar has been consistent, but the level of consistency that Sarfaraz has merited, you cannot ignore that. And it is because of this, the tussle is intense. Now remember, it's for the number 5 spot. Shreyas can be at number 5, Patidar, or you may look at it Sarfaraz at 3 or 4, sorry, because 3 will be Shubman Gill. 4 might be Patidar or Sarfaraz. That is the position that Virat Kohli holds. 69.85 with 1400s, and look at his India A performances versus England Lions. 96, 55, 161. Remember that 96 came when Patidar had also hit a 151 in the first unofficial test match. Now 69.85 versus 45.97. If logic and facts are clearly to dictate selection, eyes closed, Sarfaraz Khan should make it. He's worked so hard in this past 7 to 8 years. Ever since his under 19 days, he's been banging on the selection door. 4 years, he's staked enough of a claim to be there. But Patidar, because of this fact, he played in South Africa and he has been with the Indian cricket team longer. For 3 months, he's been with the Indian cricket setup. Sarfaraz only came through because KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja got injured. So he was called up into the squad. Sarfaraz has been consistent in domestic cricket. Patidar played 1 game in South Africa and better first class player who it can be. Clear numbers, clear performances, consistency, if you look at it, Sarfaraz trumps Patidar. No two ways about it. There is no agenda here. There is nothing of PR thing here. It's clear. The numbers are very, very clear. Sarfaraz is miles ahead. But looking at the way how Indian cricket has been functioning in the last 2 to 3 years, the one who's been in the Indian setup for far longer, in this case Patidar, he is in the front runner. And when was the last time an Indian player got selected on the back of massive domestic gains? It was Mayank Agrawal, and that was a good 6 years ago. Sarfaraz may be doing well in Ranji. He is doing well in first class cricket. But remember, he has not been with the Indian cricket setup. Patidar has been. So if you want to look at consistency at this point in time and looking at the way how the Indian cricket team functions, 50.1% Patidar gets the edge. 49.9% might be clamoring for Sarfaraz to come in, but remember, Sarfaraz was called up as a replacement in the squad because KL Rahul and Ravindra Jadeja got injured. If Sarfaraz is picked for Vizag, it will then reward the theory. That theory will then be confirmed that you are rewarding players on domestic merit. Patidar has not done himself any wrong in even domestic cricket. He's done well, but he had a better IPL than Sarfaraz. That was 2 years ago. So, in that way, the Rajat Patidar versus Sarfaraz Khan debate for the number 4 position, we hope it is number 4 because the Indian cricket team, you don't know, maybe Shreyas Iyer may be promoted to number 4. It may be a battle for number 5. If that happens, there will be contrasting opinions. If Sarfaraz is not picked, the question will be, what wrong did Sarfaraz Khan do? If Patidar is not picked, then the question will be, why did you keep him in the Indian setup for all this while? Just to see someone else bolt ahead. In both ways, you are going to see a lot of friction when it comes on February 2. Because remember, both players are exceptional. Sarfaraz also in domestic cricket is next level. But such is the competition for Indian cricket that we don't know who will be picked. It could be Patidar, it could be Sarfaraz. All eyes will be on the toss. And prior to the toss also, you will see the cap being handed out. Who it is handed out to? Rajat Patidar. You can write to us in the comments. Will it be given to Patidar? Will it be given to Sarfaraz? Or by a minor miracle to both? You can write to us in the comments below, and thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.